What's up? What's up, everybody? So, it's Nick Chavez, man, aka Mr. Be Prepared, Not Scared. So, as y'all can see, I'm at my little spot. Well, actually, I'm on the side of my little spot because people parked in my parking lot and they filled the parking lot up, and I can't even park at my spot. So, I'm at to charge them people rent. What y'all think? It's like, nah, but how y'all doing, man? So we here to talk about cycles versus circles. Cycle versus circles. So many of us focus on the cycle more than we focus on the circle. So what I mean by cycle versus cycle is the place where you've always been, like your stagnant place, or the place where you go, your comfort zone where you don't want to leave. That's the cycle. The circle represents completion, like the person who you want to be, the whole person, the complete person. It might not be where you are right now, but is what you're striving to be and where you're striving to go. So we gonna talk about some circles to focus on, and also some cycles that some of us just we gotta get over before we even get to the circle. We gotta break certain cycles. So some cycles could be like hereditary cycles, like whatever cycles we see our parents go through. Oh, my father cheats, so I'ma cheat. My mother cheats, so I'ma cheat. Or, yo, my father cheated on my mother and my mother stayed. Or my mother cheated on my father and my father stayed, so I'ma be like that. Or, like you put their cycles onto your life, and you kind of stagnate where you are. Even if it's not a hereditary cycle, it's your personal cycle. So what personal cycle do you got? So when you know that a situation or a person is toxic, do you still go back to that person wishing for like a different result, but nothing really changes, man? So a lot of us, I came to realize, and me included, a lot of us want change but don't want to change. So with that, we get stuck in our cycles and we don't really go to our circle. So I'm gonna give you a couple different examples, man. So hopefully this helps somebody, and that's what I'm here for, man. To help people with different little stuff, help people change their way of thinking, and hopefully, it'll be a more positive way of thinking for real. So, and some of y'all might know, like if y'all watch my other videos, I talk about different cycles that I was in. So different cycles would be manipulation, like when I would go to my ex-girlfriend and do certain things or say certain things that I knew I really didn't mean. I just didn't want her to be with nobody else, and I did these stuff, and like I really didn't put into consideration, like, bro, you just left this situation, or you just left this person really wasn't what you needed in your life, and you going back there. Why? You know what I mean? Just because it's your comfort zone and you don't want to leave, or whatever the case may be, whatever your why reason is. But sometimes most times when you want to elevate, you definitely got to focus more on that circle, which is you becoming a whole you, a better you, a more complete you. So a couple situations. One situation I'm going to talk about is the situation when I got hurt on my job. So I got hurt on my job. I had a concussion, real bad headaches, 17% hair loss in my left ear. I had to get like the little cortisone shot where they go in 3 ways and all this other stuff, man. I was jacked up. So I get hurt on my job, but before I get hurt on my job, you know how you chase somebody and you like, oh man, this person just different. You might have been talking to this person for a while, or it's just something different about this person than any other situation that you've been in, and you're like, man, yeah, I want to see where this goes, see how far this go. So could be like something like a love at first sight, something like that, or something like that, like just something different. So in this particular situation, it was like one of those things, like, yeah, man, so like everything was reciprocated. Whatever I was missing, this person had. Whatever that person was missing, I had. And we kind of reciprocated that love and reciprocated all that type of stuff. Reciprocity, Lord hell. So we did all that stuff together, man. So in the process of that situation, I get hurt. And I just get her, but you know she was real guarded because she got hurt. You know, you gotta pry people's hearts open, and you know she got hurt. So you know our past situations, or you know how past cycles, it kind of structured like how she felt and how she dealt with certain situations. So I get hurt. I'm living with her. Me and her, we living together. We just moved or whatever. We moved together. I get hurt. So anybody that got hurt know that you got to wait for workers' comp. Sometimes that money comes. Sometimes it don't. They play a lot of games, man, with different little stuff. So I'm waiting for the workers' comp. No real consistent income. She ended up losing her job. So now it's like, oh man, both of us we in a messed up situation. So it's like, dang, man. So, you know, when you really love somebody and you really like analyze people, when you really look at stuff, you'll look and see like the stuff that's going on. So me knowing her and me looking at her like, dang, man, shorty losing her hair, shorty losing weight, hair getting thin, like, oh man, shorty stressed out, like, man, something gotta give. So, you know, when you try to make stuff right, and it might not even be the right decision. You got the right intentions, but it might not be the right decision. So, you know, you do little things, man. You put yourself in less favorable situations. So you put yourself into these, like these toxic environments, around toxic people. And then, you know, I didn't understand it then, but you know, that heaviness just weighs on you, man. It just weighs on you, and you really don't know you really don't know how or what's going on. But you know that you're not who you're used to being. You're not that person who, you kind of lose yourself, sort of say. So, you know, I would go in a house and that would be, oh man, we had a three floor house with my back and all the stuff all jacked up. So I would have to go to the third floor, and you know, that's where our room was at. And then sometimes our son would be in a bed, the youngest one. And it's like, that's my man. I love her kids. And her youngest son, like, that's my man, but he a thick little dude. So like I knew that sometimes I couldn't lift him because of my back situation. So, you know, I ended up sleeping on the couch. So with sleeping on the couch, I ended up coming in sometimes and won't even try to go upstairs to see if he was in the bed. I would just sleep on the couch. So with sleeping on the couch, like every morning I would still have to get up and get the kids ready to take them to school. But, you know, I would go up there and make sure no matter how my back was feeling, I made it to that third floor to kiss her on our forehead. Yeah. So, just to kind of get back into the emotional stuff, but, it was still a little different. So, we end up having a conversation, and our conversation was more so like, yo, I thought that, when we moved together and we really made this, I thought we was going to be soulmates. I thought it was going to be time for us to get married and stuff like that. But we more like roommates now. Like, yo, you're not the same person. Like, I'm not the same person. And it was the fact that our current situation was kind of molded how our emotions were. So we were acting like on our emotions at that point in time. So, the best thing for us to do was like, you know what? I'm going to just move out. We'll stop messing with each other or whatever and get ourselves together. And if we come back, so be it. So I end up moving out, living with my mother. So now I'm more so like, oh man, I'm a grown man. I got to live with my mother. Oh man, I got to take my son with me. Man, I'm supposed to have my life together, man. I'm supposed to have my business straight. I'm supposed to have my house. What's going on? So, you get in that little funk, and you asking yourself, and you just asking yourself why. You get in a little insecure place because you're not sure of yourself. Like, man, I'm a man, but am I a man if I can't provide? And you go through this little dark zone, and then it gets so dark sometimes that, and I was there, man. I was there. It gets so dark that sometimes you like, man, I don't want to kill myself, but God, I wouldn't be mad if you took me right now, man. Like, it'll be easier, man. I ain't got to put up with none of this stuff. But, like, you fail to realize that even through those harder situations, God is still guiding you and holding you and telling you, man, just trust in me. Trust in me. Have faith. Even if you don't want to say it like that, man. So sometimes at that point you focus on more the negative stuff than the positive stuff. So I had a conversation with God. I said, God, look, man. Like, and this is my prayer, like, and I'm being honest with you. Say, God, look, man, if you who you say you are, and you this God, and you make everything happen, man, and nothing too hard for you, man, get me out this funk, man. Like, I don't know what's going on, man. I need to get out this funk, man. So, sometimes God will keep you in that joint, in that funk, in that pit, just so he can show you and test just like your faith and see which way you go to lean towards that stuff. So, for me, it was like, all right, bet. So when I said this stuff, I felt in my spirit like change up. Like, man, change up. God, what you mean change up, man? I'm reading my Bible and praying. It's like you don't even hear me, man. Are you listening to me? What's going on? So, I say, all right, I'm gonna change up then. So I really wanted to change, man. I didn't just want to talk about it. I wanted to be it. So I had to take my son to school every morning. Well, take him to my uncle's house at 5:30 in the morning because the bus came at 6. So I said, you know what? After I drop him off, I got to ride back past my church before I get to my mother's house. So I'm going to ride past my church, and every morning, no matter what the weather is, rain, sleet, snow, hail, whatever it is, I'm going to pull over, I'm going to get out the car, I'm going to get on my knees, I'm going to pray in front of my church and see what happens. I start doing that, man, and the prayers start getting better. The closer and better my relationship got with God, the closer and better my prayers got. So, I start building my faith back up. At this time, me and Shorty, I wasn't even messing with nobody, so like for about a year, I wasn't messing with nobody, and that's kind of unheard of for anybody, especially if you're a man. The Joneses get the kicking. Look, man, so my uncle used to call me Catman, so use your imagination for that. So my uncle used to call me Catman, so you going through this change, and you like, man, look, man, I'm used to being around somebody or being with somebody. Man, look, man, I don't know if I could do that, but in that time, in that year, I start learning myself again, knowing who I was again. So, we all heard that knowledge is power. I think applied knowledge is power, even when you apply the knowledge that you learn about yourself to your life. So when you apply knowledge, like you can't help but get better. You got to apply it for it to be power. Even if you just know it and you don't apply it, it's useless. You know what I mean? So I start doing stuff like that. So I say, you know what, God, I want to learn more about finances and wealth, man, because I'm tired. I want to break the cycle of my family being broke, or my family not being broke, but not understanding wealth enough so that we leave stuff behind for the next generation. So I say I want to learn that. So long story short, I ended up getting my life insurance license. I ended up getting my life insurance, annuity, and retirement planning license. So I got all that stuff. I start learning this stuff. I'm learning concepts over products. I'm reading books. So I'm self-educated. So I was like, all right, bet. So at this time, I called Shorty back, a year out. I say, look, I'm learning some stuff. I want to kind of break that cycle of not understanding wealth and stuff like that, man. So I want to do something. I'll take care of it, but I need you to set it up because they're not my kid. I can't set it up. I need you to set it up. So, she's like, all right, I'll set it up, man. But, it was kind of a tentative thing. And, sometimes you got to realize that certain people, for whatever past they had or whatever cycle that they got in back in them or whatever, it kind of molds how they feel in the future. So like I'm taking to that, and she just told me that past relationships, people manipulated the relationship with her kids to kind of try to get back in with her. So I had to reassure, like, look, man, it's bigger than that. Like, my mission is to make sure we help each other, and we help our kids. I always say, look, I told the kids that no matter what happened with me and you, like, I'm gonna make sure they good no matter what, man. I want them to be in a better situation than we were growing up. Not saying we was in a bad one, but if we could help them understand money more, like, and they younger, they can make more moves and set stuff up for them. So when they have kids, they can set it up earlier, and so on and so on. So we started doing that, and even when me and her was doing the best terms, I made sure that investment for them was cool because it was bigger than me and her. It was about making sure they was good. When you focus on the mission over the money, it's no better feeling, man, because you get more like gratification for that mission than you would with the money. So we start doing that, and like certain stuff started to change. I start knowing more, I start doing more, and like certain stuff started to change. So I noticed that, in this new me, this new circle of me, like me completing my circle and me completing to be a better me, like me striving towards that, like my mind started getting better and everything else started getting better. So with that said, like business start coming, being attracted to me and stuff like that. So then it's like I start telling her like different things, like, look, man, this is what I did, because sometimes with females, man, they get in this funk, and it's like what you call it, like the female, the ticker, the time clock. Oh, I got to be married by 35. Oh, I got to have my house. I got to have a husband. I got to have a car. I got to have my career. You know, sometimes it don't work like that because sometimes our timing is not God timing. You know what I mean? So we got to wait for that timing, and then waiting for it. That patience is the practice, man. Sometimes that patience be the one that kick you in your butt. You like, man, what's going on? I want it now. Sometimes you may not be ready for it when you think you are. Oh, but trust and believe. If you keep your faith and stuff like that, man, God definitely gonna make sure when he look out, it's gonna be way bigger and better than you thought it was, than you even thought it was from the jump. So, all right, so we did that. I was telling her stuff, so I was like, look, man, you gotta watch the energy around, whether the toxic environments or the toxic people, and you gotta recognize this stuff like when you see it, because if not, you gonna still be in like that same cycle. You will never grow and stuff like that. So, you know, sometimes when you in another little space, you don't pay attention to the message because of who the messenger is, even if it's a message that's going to help you or like it's going to help you grow. Even if that message is something you've been praying for, you're not going to pay attention to it because of who the messenger is. So, you know, I understood that. So like, all right, man, you got to get, you know, certain stuff together. So then I'll start listening to different little music and stuff, like little gospel music. So it's this one song, and the lyrics on it, it really made sense. It say, when you walk into a room, everything starts to change. Darkness starts to shiver at the light that you bring. So for me, it was like, man, that's the type of energy I want. I want that positive energy. I want that good energy no matter what the situation is. Like whenever I come, I want people, I don't know what it is, but I feel like uplift. I feel I want that. So ask yourself, what type of energy do you bring when you walk into a room or when you in a room? Like what type of room is it? Is it a room that's refueling your energy, refueling your battery, or is it a room that's sucking you out and stuff like that? And if you realize that it's sucking you out, man, you're gonna have to remove yourself from that situation, man, just so you can grow. Just because you remove yourself from that situation don't mean you think you better or nothing like that. It's just that you concentrate on you growing and you becoming a better person, man. So that's that, man. So, you know, then sometimes you gotta live what you say, man. Sometimes you gotta lead or live by example. So for me, right, another situation, I was in a situation when I was dealing with somebody, and the girl was like, hey man, look, well, the woman, I'm sorry, was like, hey, I need you to come, you know, I be in my house by myself, man, I be bored, I be lonely, I be wanting, you know, company. So me being at that time, I wasn't where I'm at now. So at that time, you know, I'm thinking, man, look, my cycle was, look, I go to my homeboy house, we play the game. Like I do that, I go home or whatever, I call you, let you know what's up. When you're in a relationship, man, in any relationship, man, you got to put in like that work and that effort, man. And if you don't do that, something is bound to happen. Prime example, Shorty cheated. So with her cheating, it's like, man, you know, I was hurt, but the next day, it's like, all right, this is where I was telling her, like, look, you gotta pay attention to these signs. The next day, the person that she cheated with called my phone. Hey man, look, I told you I could do whatever I want. Once mine's always mine. Shorty, I can get whatever I want from Shorty. No, I say, look, bro, I'm not with none of that, yo. I'm not with none of all that fussing over the phone. That's not me. That's some clown stuff, bro. I hung up. Bang. So, I call her. I'm like, yo, what's up, yo? I just got a phone call. Is that true? She's like, yeah, it's true. I'm like, all right, bet. I understand, and because I came from a place where it wasn't no ego, it wasn't no pride, it wasn't nothing. I say, look, I understand why you did that, but if that's what you want, yo, if you want to be in that cycle, or you want to be in that cycle where you've always been and you left from, and you think that's better for your life, go ahead and be in that, yo. Just know that, you know, I love you, and we'll go ahead, we'll play these cards how we need to play them. Long story short, we did whatever we did, and it was like I made a I didn't make her real, but I was just telling her, look, for a person to do that, like think about the mindset of that. That mindset wasn't to be like, oh yeah, I love her or I want to be with her. That mindset was more so to be like, yeah, I thought you were so happy. I knew I could get you. That's why I did it. So it's like, no, that's a manipulative mindset. So why are you going to stay in a situation like that, or why you want to be in a situation like that when you see this person's this person's character traits. Like, man, you got to get out before it's too late. So, I say all this to say, man, that when you're going through these things, man, you got to break that cycle to build that circle. You got to build that circle to make you a complete person. You got to be a complete person that that love yourself and know yourself, man, and really do stuff that's really best for you. And once you do stuff that's best for you and you know yourself and you love yourself, man, whatever's not supposed to be there, just trust the process, trust your faith. It's going to lean itself. It's going to delete itself. It's going to make it easier for you to see what needs to be in your life and what doesn't need to be in your life. So, man, I hope that this message helped whoever it helped, man. I hope that it helped all of y'all. It helped me, man. It was therapeutic for me, man. Even for me, not even to put my personal business out there, but for me to do that, it's like, man, I really had to go into my place like, God, look, man, I don't want to really put my business out there like that. But, like in order for me to help other people, I had to do it like that. So I think that hopefully, like, the people that need to hear this, they heard it. If you know somebody that needs to hear it, man, share this video. Subscribe to my channel, like it. It's gonna be more stuff like this, man. And hopefully, man, we're gonna grow together. We're gonna break them cycles and build them circles. So let's go ahead and do that, man. I pray that I helped y'all. I pray that y'all took this with love and positivity, because that's how I put it out there. I'll see y'all next Tuesday. Y'all be blessed.